He surfaces from sleep like a dunked, dark red apple, bobbing for a while. His young self grabs it tight in his grubby hand, running barefooted to the woods to eat it, to devour its crisp skin, flesh, core, and all. What is it about her? What was it about her? He closes his eyes. What is she inside? He fondles these questions like an armful of peaches, little velvet fruits, cool things that are green or come from greenness. He opens his eyes. That smooth hollow just behind her ear, the firm, slender reed, the velvet of a cattail shoot. His eyes close. The apple in his belly. On his back, under the cool trees, the heat blooms about their crowns and pockets. The yellow foxgloves waver. The trees are grass, and he a beetle dozing in it. He licks the downy nascent stalk just under the area of unblemished skin to try and taste its crisp starch. Could easily puncture the vegetal skin with his tongue. She has been to the water. That is what he is reaching for. The fruits tumble from his arms. Some of them bruise against his knees, the softest ones. It is like that. Impossible to hold as water. She is full of water. If he lets go so as not to tear her skin and crush her, she rotates, slips beyond his ability to keep the flock of doves from flying away. This is where he swells, as body is thought, the mind, the body. His mind fills with water, his body with water, pressing, grasping, holding. He could crush her, tear her, bruise her, siphon. There it is, the odor of halved fruits. He releases, but when he does, her limberness, her smallness slips away like a snake in the hay. Some peaches roll from his arms. He swells again in those fresh seconds between when they begin to fall and the moment he scrambles to pick them up again. He does this to her for hours. She turns her head and looks at his watch. The inner dome clouded by humidity, a downpour in the cornfield, the glass whitened, transpiration in the hothouse when the vents are closed, condensation on the washroom mirror after a bath. She is more aware of all these things than she is of where his hands are or the expression on his face. He is sleeping, sweating beside her. On her back in the hay, she hears the birds singing in the nearby tree behind the barn, memorizes the repeat of melody, the persistent scent of hay, and the summer dust rising from it, so peculiarly sweet, sullied by the fecal odor of the stalls, the earthy evaporation of dung. The horses turn away, balancing on a ladder, picking ripe peaches from boughs. The sudden storm, thunderstruck like God's fist on the kitchen table, like her father's fist when he is angry, pounding on the washroom door when she bathes. Sprawled wet and stunned in the roots, the ground tilted up and back like a seesaw, and the orchard contracted. Wind shook the fruit like fists, her fist multiplied. Damp trunks expanding, black bark perspiring in 80 degrees. This half hour in the barn is like the rotting orchard peaches expiring and sinking in the soil. Mingling odors in the barn. His particular odor, somewhat sour, tobacco resined fingers, and the stale, burnt field aroma on his lips and in his hair. Her mind flies off somewhere else, higher than the wind in the branches of the tree behind the barn, further than the birds, which for some strange reason in this lingering half hour, in the dull hot weather, are lulled. Now startled, they fly away. She flies over the river, dipping far below the first hill, as it cuts through the woods, penetrates the valley, swims far beyond the town, where it kicks and empties itself into the lonely curve of the black lake, the deserted side where no one goes with fishing pole or boat. People say it's because there are too few trees, that it's too hot. The fish swallow the river. He pulls her back into the barn with the fingers and thumb of his right hand. She can see his left fist out of the corner of her right eye. The last bird flies from the tree outside, flashes through the light that tears through the opening in the tightly hinged door. The escape of the last bird is like the shadow of someone running away, a shadow she thinks she sees in the periphery of her vision. Her eyes hope for someone, but there is nobody there. Present for a moment, she sees the left side of his sun-freckled jaw as he rises over her, then comes down close to her right, his handsome weathered cheek, the outer tail of his sun-bleached brow, his hot red ear. Things forever framed in her memory. Then he lunges, forgets who she is, face away, his hair in her eyes as she closes them, his shoulder over her mouth, his hips rising, the hammer of his thighs shunting his torso forward as he struggles through that inescapable chasm in the lake, down, down against buoyancy. The swimmer disappears, drowned, not here, not today, alone on another summer day when she is older. She looks up and finds a small crack in the roof where underneath A sparrow built its nest in the rafters 2 weeks before. A cat disturbed the nest, and the birds abandoned the eggs. Only 2 speckled, plain brown eggs the size of her thumbs, left alone in the neat little twig bowl. You can see it from the ground if you look carefully. It rests there, high above everything, makes one think of an empty flower pot, grass growing up around it until it is hidden, or like a polished gold pocket watch seen in a shop window, wanted, asked for, dreamt of. The golden watch unclaimed because no one can afford to take it home. It, the nest, the flower pot, the eggs, things that have that unfinished, unreachable or forgotten look about them. That is what matters. She is like that little nest, but today she has wings. Look at that cloud up there. See how different it is from all the rest. Why does it hover longer as the others change and drift away? Wait. Look. A few come close. See how they are absorbed by that one particular cloud. How beautiful you are. So unlike all the others. You won't be here tomorrow, floating above me this one time, during this lengthy half hour, so attentive to me as if I am the most important person in the world. You will only last but 5 minutes more. Cloud above the barn, up here with me in these few remaining minutes, on this one day, one summer. I am leaving with you when you go, my body an abandoned sparrow's nest in the rafters, my heart an unclaimed wedding ring lost in hay.